Guardian, we've picked up a high-gain transmission. Origin point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
What is up, Guardians? This is Cosmodrome Radio, broadcasting from all the way from Neo Muna, because as you see from our new logo and the fact that we are less than 2 weeks out, we are moving the Cosmodrome Radio podcast to Neo Muna for the foreseeable future. And apparently we have to come back and forth because Season of the Defiance is going to involve a bunch of drama. We'll dive into that later, but we are broadcasting all the way to Neptune for all the good folks, like all the great Neptunians there and the Cloud Striders and whatnot. This is the podcast all about Destiny 2 and all the great things about it. That's about right. Yeah, that's everything there. My name is Panda the Paladin. You can catch this show on every podcast platform, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, YouTube, all those great places, Amazon, and Music and Audible. So, like, if you have an Audible subscription and you want to listen to us, you can read your books and listen to us. So that's a good thing that you can do. You can follow us on Twitter at Cosmodrome Radio. Apparently, Tower reminded me that we have an Instagram because I made one a while back. We'll start posting there as well. So we have an Instagram that you also can follow as well, Cosmodrome Radio. And please make sure that you join the Discord. We're trying to grow the community and have more interaction with you guys and what you want to talk about in the universe. So definitely join the Discord. Link will be in the description and it's available on our Twitter. That way you can join up. And if you're looking for a clan, that's part of what we do too. You will be assigned a special role in the Discord server where you'll get access to other channels that are specifically for the clan. So check that out. My name is Panda the Paladin. As I said previously, to my left, we have the man who did not bring me any cheddar biscuits from his day job. The warlock who sweats his butt off more than I do. And he's very proud of that. Alchemy King, what up, dog?
Not much. Just got home from the Red Lobster and...
And you didn't bring me any cheddar biscuits!
Well, I'm sorry, you live in Ohio.
That's fair. And apparently chemicals are trying to kill me, but that's beside the point. And then to my right, we have our newest co-host, if she likes it here. Like definitely found her on the TikToks, and she has been kicking butt, like hanging out with us in the Discord and whatnot. Tower Mom, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Panda. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing pretty good. I got me some mac and cheese here. Like, I got me some like this fancy ass like ionized water from the gas station. I'm feeling pretty good.
Ooh, fancy!
Right, like it tastes so good. It's that crisp water. But no, I'm doing great. But like, you want to tell folks about yourself and whatnot?
Sure. I am Tower Mom on all of the socials. So if you find anyone that doesn't look like me, they're lying. They're not your mom. I am the community mother. You got problems, you bring them to me. I'll throw some chanclas at some people. All right? You just let me know.
All right.
And I'm also a warlock main, by the way. I know you only saw my Titan, but she's just my side.
That's just your side. Oh,
side piece.
Man. See, like before we had 2 hunters in here. Now people are gonna say we're hating on hunters when I have no hunters in here. But that's funny. But no. Why don't you what got you into Destiny for that? Like that. What is your fresh out the grave story, as it were? Like what got you into all this?
Okay. Panda, you've heard this before, but I started in with the lore before I ever got into actually playing Destiny. My best friend was a city manager of GameStop at the time that Destiny came out, and he told me about this amazing game that was made by the people who did Halo, and it had Nathan Fillion in it. And that his character was basically Robot Captain Mal. And I don't know about you, but I'm a huge Firefly fan. I love Nathan Fillion. He is a national treasure. The man must be protected at all costs. Um, but at the same time, it was also owned and operated by ActaBliz. I'm not a big fan of ActaBliz. So I did the next best thing. I just started reading the lore. I absorbed everything. All the ghost stories, all the freaking lore pages. When The Taken King came out, I was like, yes, I need to know more about the Hive. I need to read this. So he sent me everything, all the links to the grimoire pages. He was like, eat it up. Then when Shadowkeep came out and Bungie went their own way from ActaBliz and they added free to play, I was like, bet. This is me now. This is my life. This is my home. This is my... It started as my hyperfixation of the week, and now it's like everything about me. I'm in awe, and ever since then I haven't turned back. My buddy bought me the Shadowkeep expansion after about a week of us playing together, and ever since then I haven't looked back. I died during Beyond Light, absolutely loved it. Witch Queen has been amazing, and I'm looking forward to Lightfall coming out, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Excellent. Love that you're here. Excited to see how it goes down and whatnot. Definitely follow her on Twitter and whatnot. Tower Mom is the bomb. Brain fart. For those who were wondering why was there no episode last week, we were trying to tune some things, get Tower Mom on the schedule and whatnot, and get her part of the team. But also, we were wanting to showcase our new logo for Lightfall, and that's why we wanted to wait a minute, get that rolled out, and we were preparing for the giveaway. Some things have changed. We are only going to be able to give away one copy of Lightfall, but that's going to still be awesome. And for those who are wondering from my TikTok, you have to wait till the end of the show to find out how to enter that giveaway. So get ready for that. And then for whoever who was wondering what would have been last week's episode, it would have been Alchemy laughing in the corner hysterically while I bitch and moan about why they're nerfing Titans to the ground. But it's fine. It's fine. We're not going to talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. But there is still tons to talk about from the past, like not even like 2 weeks, just from this week alone. There's been so much that's happened that we are gonna just dive straight into it. And before we get into all the Lightfall announcements, let's talk about the Season of the Seraph finale.
Oh,
because
I'm gonna go ugly cry in the corner for like the 5th time since I saw that, dude.
It was a trip. It was a trip because quite literally, I did it before work. I'm cruising through. I will admit, I felt kind of teased that I got to fight Aramis, and then they're like, nah, she runs away. But then they're like, okay, cool. Now we're gonna give you an arch wizard hive to fight. And for those who didn't notice, and I think Bife caught it too, the wizard's name was Scourge of the Earth, which meant it really felt like Zivu Arath had felt like she had this in the bag. Because the Scourge of the different people is the endgame wizard. Because the other Scourges we saw earlier in the season were the Scourge of the original home, home race of the Hive, and a couple of other different people, the Helium Drinkers. So there was those couple things there. So the fact that they're the Scourge of the Earth, that meant Zivu thought she had this in the bag. It was very satisfying, just stasis crystal smashing that thing to death. But then
I yeeted her.
Oh, you yeeted her? Oh, that's mean. Just straight tight yeeted.
I did my with Dally. That's all I did.
That's mean. Just fucking just fire rockets into her face.
Yeet and Witherhoard, best combo ever. That's all I'm saying.
Especially with them just going, hey, let's give them Breach and Clear back, but not as powerful. But Weak and Clear has still been the greatest thing ever this past season. Like, I remember when they announced that Breach and Clear was coming back, I straight was just like, yo, just like Ice Cube, Triple X3, just like grenade launcher, like just everything I've ever wanted. Because Breach and Clear was one of the best seasons of like Destiny ever. It's like Anarchy, Witherhoard, just like reigning supreme. And I still think to this day, Bungie regrets giving us Breach and Clear during the season of the Splicer, because that just made Atheon so trivial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
But it was so good. But no, so like once we beat the Archive, we then saw this cutscene where Anna Bray had to sacrifice Rasputin, or had to allow Rasputin to sacrifice himself to stop the war stats from attacking the Traveler. And and you see this go down to where like Aramis thinks she's got it. She's like, because the Traveler tries to up and leave. The Traveler just straight up tries to like bounce. And you see it rise out of the earth, and it's like, oh, you just gonna head out? All right, cool. And she turns the guns of the war sats on the Traveler like just like giant sleeper stimulants, which I thought was hilarious. And then they just explode because Rasputin did his thing, and the Traveler just sits there in orbit, and you get quite literally the Destiny 1 poster. And I was just like, what?
Yes.
But wait,
Like-
did the Destiny 1 poster lead up to Lightfall? Is that the question, though?
I feel like, especially with the changes that happened, I feel like at some point they were just kind of like, ooh, look what we can do in the framework of this, like when they were planning Season of the Seraph. I don't think that was the end plan. Like,
Oh no, it totally was.
I don't know.
They've always said that they have 10-year plans in place. This is the culmination of that 10-year plan, at least for, the Darkness and Light saga. We still have Lightfall and the final shape, but like that moment, they always do this. At some point in an expansion, I've noticed, even just with the 3 that I've done so far, there's always a moment that goes back to Destiny 1. Something that it's familiar, like the Cosmodrome coming back.
Right.
Sure, Shawhan is there, and not everyone is a fan of him. Personally, I think he's okay. He's for the new lights. He's not for us.
He's literally just stalking outside the radio station right now, just being a hooligan. And it's just like, you're not cool, man. Like, I'm sorry your fire team.
How you doing?
Like he's just moping around that his fire team's dead. And I'm like, bro, stop it. Like, it's cool. Go it's fine. Just give people their bounties. It's fine. Like,
Hey, the man has had some moments. He's had some really awesome moments. He built that ramp for the new lights over to the Lost Sector. He also just had that amazing, Banff moment where he literally just threw a sticky nade into a freaking pile of, light bearer hive, and they just exploded, and he's standing there like, what? I thought that was the best thing ever.
He is wearing young Armcar spines, so those trip mines gotta be powerful.
I do think it's funny though. There's been a couple people who have like gone out of their way to like cosplay Shawhan, and I'm just like, why? Why would you do this to yourself?
Everybody, to each their own, dear. To each their own. Okay. we can't be judging too harshly.
I mean, I guess. but no, like you do have a point. But like I feel like there was a nugget or on the cork board there was like the logo in the corner they might wanted to like tie in at some point. But I feel like they needed to get the red string there. Like it might have been sitting in the top corner of the cork board. They just didn't know how to get there. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's more where my brain's at with that. Like it probably wasn't the plan, but it was like up there in the corner for them to reach for when they wanted to, if that makes more sense.
Yeah, and then when they saw it, it was like, okay, yes,
Right, like it's time.
it
We
is
can
time.
finally make our move.
If Activision wasn't still with Bungie, we would still have just Destiny.
Oh, we'd
Because
be at Destiny 3 by now. What do you mean? Like literally, which we probably would have.
no, they wanted
No.
to keep Destiny as like there's no, they didn't want to make a Destiny 2. They wanted to keep on adding on to Destiny as
They wanted
Destiny
COD
franchise.
Destiny.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's one of the reasons why they said they split, was because they wanted Destiny. Actibliz wanted Bungie to turn Destiny into another COD franchise, and they didn't want that.
Yeah, that wouldn't have made sense to me. And like, I think the great thing about that is, at the very least, I will give Activision this. If we were trying to do Destiny 2 storylines on D1's engine, the game would have died. Like the game would have festered out, and we because they even said the Tiger engine was limited back then. So I can understand at least like going to D2, but at the like there would have came a time where Bungie would have been like, we need to like give you a new disc or revamp the whole engine. You're gonna have to like delete the whole game and start over from scratch if you want to keep going, kind of thing. Like there was gonna be a time where like sunsetting was gonna occur, whether people liked it or not. So yeah. I think where we're at is probably the best we were gonna get with this, if I'm being 100% honest. But in terms of what happened, I think there was a couple people that were like kind of salty or like upset that Rasputin had to get the axe. And I even made the joke on Twitter, on TikTok, that like, hey, like Bungie probably should have waited until like this release to announce that warmind cells were going away, because this is a perfect justification as to why warmind cell mods are leaving. Like, no warmind cells. Like that's my thought process. Like they could have easily just been like, hey, no warmind cells. It makes perfect sense. We're fine. But they didn't do that. It was like, we're revamping everything. Warmind cells are gone. And I'm like, damn, calm down. But in terms of what happened, I think, I mean this like full on. Shout out to Erika Ishii just coming in and slaying. They came in with just the fire. And because I had been missing Anna Bray for a minute. It felt like Anna Bray should have been in the trenches with us for all of Beyond Light and whatnot, like the whole season structure. But then after the darkness quest, she kind of just fell off, and I'm like, what? So when when they were really hinting at Anna coming back, I'm like, I need this. I need this. So and Erika came in swinging. She did great. Like the emotion, like just this like one cut scene alone, I was just god tier. So very much praise for her. Praise to the entire narrative team, because I was a mess. Just everyone assembled around the last city as the traveler lifted off. That was pretty deep. The D1 armor sets, the starter armor sets being in the background, that was kind of cool. Bungie, can we have those back? Like, can we get some ornaments or something? Yeah. Like, that would be nice.
Next season's seasonal ornaments, in my opinion.
That would be dope. I could get really behind that. They're just like, hey, this is the seasonal ornaments as we finish the 3.0 element skins. Let's give you the D1 skins. I'd be behind that.
Oh yeah.
But no, like I think my favorite part of the entire mission was the fact that like Rasputin went out on his own terms. Like that was my favorite thing, that like he went out doing doing it the way he wanted to. But then even with that going down, freaking Aramis is like, why won't the traveler flee? And and the witness is like, because it's got nowhere to go. And I'm like, oh shit.
Thinking about that cutscene. Did you see the plate ship?
That was a lot of ships. I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of ships.
Dude, yes.
Literally one flat one out of all the pyramids.
Well, the flat one was a representation of Callus's new ship that they announced. Like Callus's new ship, because if you look back at the cutscene, you can barely make out his head on the front. So like everyone's like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Seen a
I
few memes of that.
So that's very much going to be very interesting. And like someone talked about it on TikTok as well. The idea that Aramis is probably freaking the hell out right now because she went through hell to try to get the traveler to go away, because the entire point, she didn't really want to align herself with the witness long term. She did all of this for her people. She wanted the elixir to be free of the traveler, to remove the traveler from the equation and prevent another whirlwind. She wanted to stop a whirlwind from occurring. That's why she was going to shoot the traveler down, was to prevent a whirlwind. That way the elixir could continue to exist. And then, like, because if the traveler left, then the pyramid ships would leave and the witness would have nothing to do, and the elixir could exist from her point of view. But then the plan failed, the traveler didn't leave, and now the witness is pulling up, and it's like now Aramis is effectively SOL, and if she doesn't join us, she's probably gonna get axed. And I kind of feel bad for her, I'm not gonna lie.
I saw that too. I was like, ooh, that's a good point. Ooh, yes.
And
Like you do all
yeah.
this to try and just save your people. That's all you want to do, is save your people. And then you basically get screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's, what is she going to do now, kind of a thing. You know?
I think in the long term, I feel like she's finally going to listen to Ido, because like there's no hints of her like from the seasonal material we got from the Vidoc today. There's nothing in terms of like seeing her from that perspective. So I feel like if anything, what we might get is like Season of the Deep or season 23. We'll see her pull up and listen to Ido, and like see her finally understand that the witness is the problem. Because if she don't, it's gonna be a problem. Like that's pretty much where we're at, where it's like she's gonna end up turning herself into a scorn if she doesn't get right. That's very much where this is at this point.
But also, one of our claymates did bring up, what if Aramis is Ido's mother?
See,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
There's nothing, at least that I've read in the lore, that states that any of her children survive.
Which
So,
it could
like,
be a cool twist, but like I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she very well could be, you know, just an unknown, because of the fact that Mizrax found her basically in an exhaust port, you know, freshly hatched. So maybe, possibly, but from all of the lore that I've read about Atheris, who is or was Aramis's mate, her wife, like, as far as we know, all of the hatchlings that they had died with Atheris. Yeah. Like, I mean, they're clutch breeders, so they have multiple hatchlings at one time, and apparently, at least from what I've read, Atheris and the entire clutch that she had just gone.
Dang.
Yeah. Sorry to bring it down.
No, that's cool. No, like this is good information, and like it kind of like debunks a theory, but also leads to potential stuff in the future. And I mean, my biggest thing is it would really suck, because with someone like Callus is very much displayed, and also with Rolk, these two have displayed like very much they want to follow the witness. They want to do this. And I feel like some people were saying, what if Aramis becomes a disciple? I don't think she will. I feel like when we get to the final shape, you're gonna see Savathun get revived, and you're gonna see Aramis join us as well. And like you're gonna see Savathun, Aramis, every guardian So, like, everyone pull up against the witness, and it's gonna be crazy. Like, we'll probably we'll probably see like Final Shape or Lightfall, because some people are saying either like for Lightfall the boss might like the raid boss might be Xivu or Wrath. So we'll either see Xivu or Wrath be the raid boss. We might see Callus be the raid boss, or Final Shape's gonna come around and Xivu or Wrath's gonna get her butt kicked by Savathun or by us, and that's just gonna be the end all be all. Because
bringing up that.
Yes, Alchemy. Alchemy die?
I don't know. Can't hear him.
Oh, one second. Oh, he will say what happened. But no, but while Alchemy addresses his mic issue, but no, it's like I'm very much like this view from what we see. We are in the end game. Like we are very much at like final bout, and the way we see from the Vidoc, it's gonna get really intense. And we'll talk about the Vidoc in a little bit. But just from the scene we got, I think, and I'll echo what a lot of other commentators have said. This is probably one of the best cutscenes we've ever had in Destiny. Like, hands down.
Can I just like give some love to the freaking cinematics team? Not only did they include Saint and Osiris, and Saint kind of cuddling up with Osiris, like, you know, trying to like keep him cool. But then we also got to see all these Elixni mixed in with people and see that they are like blending. And, you know, you see Mizrax and Ido coming out of the bar, and there's humans coming out there with them, and they're all just together, you know, sharing in this moment. And it just made me so happy.
I saw someone say on Twitter that they were like, I bet you in the bar, Spider's like, what's happening? What's going on?
Oh my god!
Where's everybody going?
I have never heard your Spider before, but you sound like Robin Downs. Dang, that was good.
That was like not even me trying, and that was just me kind of like pulling some hoarseness out of my voice.
Well,
dang, dude. Hey,
welcome back, Alchemy.
Is that well, if you read the Book of Sorrows, the way Oryx defeated Xivu Wrath was using cunning, and what is Savathun the god of in the Hive ranks?
Ooh.
Cunning.
So like that'd be kind of cool if we end up seeing like when Savathun gets revived, just like see the sisters throw down. That'd be kind of cool.
And even after she was revived, even after Amaru, you know, revived her in the light, what happened? She was still true to her nature.
Exactly.
That base nature of hers, to be cunning, to be, you know, tricky and all that kind of stuff. She was still true to that nature. So that's intrinsically part of her, even though she had no memories of who she was.
Exactly. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in regards to the hell. Like, there was even a lore book this season of Marasov and Xivu Arath having like a mental battle in the Ascendant plane. I want to see that play out. I want to see, like, especially because Mara is going to be involved with the new season. I want to see an Ascendant plane battle, and I'll be really disappointed if we get to the end of this like season 20 and we don't finally see Xivu Arath step out. Like, even if it's just a cutscene, I need to see what this lady looks like. We are getting to the point where like you need to show yourself.
We've seen the brother. We've seen the older of the two sisters. Now we need to see the younger.
Exactly.
I want to see her.
So,
I want to see some mothy night.
That'd be kind of cool.
Right?
So from there, we dive into the giant state of the game that game director Joe Blackburn put out on Tuesday. And we won't like go frame by frame because like there's a lot going on here. We'll talk about everything in like sort of like generalness. But from basically what the like things amounted to was not only do they want to tune abilities that way it's more balanced versus the past few seasons where everything's been very ability heavy. You've seen the game be very oversaturated with abilities. They're trying to get back to a balance of ability plus gunplay. And I really dig that. They're even saying they're rolling back some changes. I disagree with, I still say that I disagree with the resilience changes, because the fact that you're still going to see in Lightfall, you're going to, like, even with the changes you have upcoming with the new armor system, you're going to see like casual and like lower light players struggle immensely. You are going to see like even with the ability to have lesser resilience but still have the benefits, you're going to see people struggle more so, and you're gonna like, and there's gonna be pro players that like, oh, they're gonna consider this a win. No, this very much is a loss for the majority of the player base. And just like, while there's a good chance that the new armor system will be very developed and very beneficial, I still feel like we need to develop the different of things with the other stats rather than bringing resilience down. Recovery should give you different benefits. Mobility should give you different benefits, like discipline, strength, rather than lessening resilience just because some pro players are like not like feeling the challenge anymore.
Yeah,
that's the big issue that I see.
GMs earlier this week, and it was Glassway, and I don't know how many times both of us got one shot.
Oh no! Like my entire Ursa Furiosa build has Well of Tenacity built in. I have Well of Tenacity and Protective Light built into my build, and I have it to where like there should be no way that I'm getting one shot by anything. And we're like, we had just finished draining the Vex milk from the bathtub. We're crossing through the thing, and just one random vandal snipe, and I'm like, huh? And like literally, and I'm just like Alchemy and the person we were running with, Drag, who's in the clan, like we were just astounded. And this had I've even watched previous seasons recently where pro day one raid racers were getting one shot by the light bearing hive in Lightblade. And we're over here like, oh, we're gonna nerf resilience because like 2% of the player base thinks they're too busted. And that's where I have some difficulty understanding some of the ability tuning, like some of the stat tuning and whatnot. Do I agree with some people who have said it feels like you're forced to run high resilience and nothing else? That's a fair argument, but in any other RPG, if you're going into high-end content, why wouldn't you want high defense? That's where my head goes, if that makes sense.
No, I feel you. Like, honestly, with me, I have 100 recovery, or 100 resilience, arc, and solar build for my Titan. All right. And I've run, I like to do the Seraph Shield solo, but I like to do it on Legend because I like to cause myself immense pain. I mean, I've solo flawless the normal, and I've soloed the Legend, but I haven't flawless the Legend yet. But like, I go into the Legend and I'll get to the freaking spacewalk, and whether I have Lorelei on or I'm running Crest of Alpha Lupi, it doesn't matter. I'll get one shot by one of those sniper shanks. And like, even before Lorelei kicks in, I'm down. I can't. Like,
that's ridiculous.
Full health, it snipes me. I can't even proc my Lorelei healing. It's bull.
So it's like, I understand what some people have said from a build crafting standpoint where you're forced to do it, but that doesn't mean we need to nerf that. So like, it very much felt like this is similar to what I've been talking about with certain exotics recently. Like, hell, I was talking like in someone's stream today, talking about how Heart of Inmost Light, everyone's like, we need to nerf Heart of Inmost Light for Titans. Titans don't really have anything right now. We shouldn't be trying to nerf the only exotic we have. we should be trying to elevate other exotics. There's so many things like Kefri's Horn, Insurmountable Skullfort, like there's so Hallowfire Heart. There's so many exotics that are just sitting in Titan's vaults that see no play because you know what I meant. Like there's so many exotics just sitting in people's vaults that like see no play, and like people are saying just nerf it. No, we need to elevate. And like in the stream that I was like hanging out in today, like someone even said the Heart of Inmost Light is only good. It never got a buff or anything. It's just a product of the 3.0 system. People saw how beneficial it could be when Stasis came out. It wasn't even like Solar 3.0, Void 3.0, or R 3.0 that did it. It was Stasis that showed Heart of Inmost Light had very much good benefit. So I feel like we need to revisit it. Like I think it was there was Worm on YouTube today who made a giant like hour-long video of how to revisit every Titan exotic, and I was like, that's a really good pitch. Just like sit there and go through each exotic and figure out how to fix it, and like that's what we need to start doing.
Yeah, totally agreed.
From there, we definitely like what I thought was really cool, and what we've already kind of talked about. Bungie has announced, through Blackbird's article, that not only do we know what the season is going to be called ahead of time, we know what next season is going to be called. We know what the theming is going to be. And that is super intriguing. We know that Season of the Defiance is launching alongside of Lightfall. And it's going to be about, like the darkness is here. People are being captured. There's a ziggurat in the EDZ. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, that's about to be a problem. We are apparently getting a bunch of new, like, Queen's Guard style weapons and whatnot. I'm super excited for that. What's that?
I'm just hoping that some of the D1 armor sets and weapons come over. And
that
especially
kind of cool.
Yeah, like
so
the reef
good.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can get behind that. There was a lot of good reef stuff back in the day that could be like very beneficial in a new sandbox. Like there was even a really good reef shotgun that was just like a repainted Found Verdict that could be really good. They could reuse. And then we found out that season 2021 is going to be Season of the Deep, and that tells me either we fucking with some worm gods or we getting real deep in the dark trenches, and it's gonna be some fun times. So that I'm very excited about, and they're really talking like because they listen to the community. They're very much like, we understand that from like Season of the Haunted onward, you were getting tired of us waiting to the last minute to talk about things, and to a certain extent, I kind of like was sympathetic towards Bungie when that was going on because they weren't really able to give us a surprise. They were trying to give us something to look forward to and make it be a drop. But then you saw what Season of the Haunted, like Sony Japan leaked the trailer, so they had to drop everything like a few hours before. Season of the Plunder got leaked an hour before the Vidoc. Freaking like even and then freaking Season of the Seraph, it got real lucky that like no one could figure it out, and they dropped one picture the day before. And that's when everyone's like, oh my God. So like, I think they understood while so like a good chunk of people that like fairly enough, they were tired of waiting to the last minute, but Bungie wanted to give us a surprise. And I kind of see where they were at with it, but I'm thankful that we have something going forward to be excited about, especially with Defiance. I'm like, hey, more Marasov themed armor for the Marasov OnlyFans community. They can have fun with that, I guess.
Oh God! See, I'm just waiting for Season of the Deep because me and Drifter, we gonna go deep sea diving. We're gonna go look for the long boy in the soup.
Oh my God!
See,
what's up?
When I think of Season of the Deep, all I can think back is to the third ever expansion to the second expansion to Destiny 2, not Curse of Osiris, warmind.
With Zol.
With Zol, because It,
Yes.
one of his lines is, I can't remember. It was in the Whisper mission, like
You
something
will
in the deep.
drown in the deep. There is
Yeah,
no light here, only death. Yeah.
yeah.
And like, and what really makes me sad. Oh, I'm sorry, Akami, go ahead.
I'm just saying. I think back to that when I hear that because I feel like we're either gonna go into where we can a place where we can only use darkness abilities since he said that there is no light here. I feel like they were leading up, bringing back Zol up to some point.
Or
Mm.
just get showing the rest of the Hive Gods, because the Hive Gods are kind of just sitting in a corner while the witness pops off. It's kind of interesting to think about.
Yep. Yep. And think of it this way too. Reading the books of sorrows, the reason that the Hive call the darkness the deep is because that's where Oryx, Savathun, and Sivu Wrath met the worm gods, was in the deep of their planet, in the deep of Fundament.
Yeah.
So
What if
that's
we
where
go
that
to
comes from.
Fundament?
Oh God. That would be crazy.
That would be awesome. But no, and like, and what makes me sad is they announced later in the article that in season 22 we're getting an exotic mission rotator, but the rotator is only going to have Presage, Operation Seraph Shield, and friggin' the Dead Messenger mission, and I'm like, yo. Why Vox Obscura? I'm like, yo, why not? If you're having Season of the Deep, give us Whisper back. Like that would be the ultimate time to not only give like newer players a taste of Whisper, but like at that point, introduce like a Whisper rework. Give Whisper time to be the top dog again, or that's when you make Whisper a special weapon to coincide with Izanagi's. That's when you pull that trigger. You go, yo, it's a special now. It's getting a buff, and I'm like, like that would be the time to make that play.
Do that, they might have another Black Spindle issue because if you didn't know, Destiny 1 it was originally called Black Spindle and it did the exact same thing, and they had to pretty much nerf it into the ground because everyone would be using it. Like,
Right.
and it would create that power creep issue that Bungie is trying to not have.
Right. And like
So
that's
they
the
would
whole
have to
reason why
like,
Icebreaker hasn't come back either, is because they're afraid of Icebreaker popping up and causing havoc.
and
Yeah.
causing another sniper meta.
I mean, we kind of are in a sniper meta right now, if you really think about it. We're in a pulse rifle sniper meta, but that's beside the point. But then in terms of what they're talking about, they're very much looking to revamp the PvE experience in a big way. Because not only are they like, yo, we're gonna continue our plan to mix some of the heist battle, like the battlegrounds from Siege of the Risen and the heist battlegrounds into the battlegrounds playlist, but like into the Vanguard Ops playlist, but we also want to make it so there's harder content for like the harder players. And that's why in season 20 they're introducing the Mars heist battleground in as a nightfall. And I'm like, oh shit. like that's gonna mean we're like freaking Kelgaroth as a freaking GM boss. And I'm like, that's gonna be chaotic as hell. Like
Poor
just
Kelgaroth.
oh, I'm gonna like if they give me a champion glaive mod, I'm about to run up with his own damn glaive and beat his ass.
Oh, they said they were getting rid of that as well. They're gonna they're gonna tune abilities and class stuff towards champions rather than having mods with the new build crafting, which I think is great.
I think that's really good too.
I'm absolutely happy with that. I hate having to switch mods all the time. Having a loadout with the new loadouts that they're going to be bringing in. Oh man, I can have a anti-barrier loadout. I can have an overload loadout, and all I gotta do is click a button.
Right,
I'm
and
so
shout
happy
out
with that.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. I think at the very least there will be some mods occasionally, because the idea of using like glaives or shotguns, they'll still play around with it. But the idea of giving abilities the ability to have that kind of functionality, giving different guns, like everyone's been farming Riptides from Crucible right now because of how much stasis is going to be effective in endgame content now. And then shout out to Court from the Destiny Massive Breakdowns podcast, because he made a giant chart of everything that is going to be effective in Lightfall against champions, and he's even working on updating the chart to show the new stasis stuff as well in the next few days.
Wow.
So we'll definitely be retweeting that like once that rolls out, because that's a giant chart that shows every ability, every exotic, everything that will be effective in Lightfall. So definitely look out for that. Check out. We'll include all that information in the show notes. Friggin' from there though, like they also said that they're noticing that they're going to be experimenting with power settings, and I think they said like by the time we get to final shape, probably around season 21 or 2, they're going to stop raising the power cap. And I'm like, oh really? I'm a little sad because they showed in the Vidoc that we're going to 1800, and I'm like, we couldn't get close to 2000. Like we couldn't beat 2000 as the final number. Like even if they boost us to like 100 per season until we get there, like I would really enjoy the idea of us hitting 200 for like season 22 or 2000 for season 22. Like 2000 power cap. We're not going no higher. That's where we're stopping. I'd be like, bet. Just like that's fine. But there's
I
also
think they said 21 is going to have a pause in the power creep.
They said later in season we don't plan to raise the power or pinnacle cap at all. I'm like,
yeah, but then after that they're going to start raising it again. So what they're doing is kind of incremental raising of the power. So it's not going to be a complete full stop, but they are going to have like specific seasons where there is no power cap increase.
Interesting. Okay.
At least that's how I interpreted it.
I mean, I'm down with that. I just think that it does kind of lead into the idea and what they've been talking about, where specifically with the Heist Battlegrounds this season, they did it to where they raised the power cap by 5. That way, everything similar to GMs, where you're permanently like 20 light below in this content, like the Heist Battlegrounds, you're permanently 5 below. So it's a little bit of a challenge until you get your bearings and understand what you need to do. And there was like a small amount of the community that like was kind of frustrated by it because like they felt like it was too hard. But then I'm like, we've been complaining for so long that we don't have hard content, where like the only raising it by 5 feels like a compromise. It feels like we're not going to GM level. We're not going to like just casual, no change at all. We're sort of meeting in the middle. We're doing 5 power above us, and you're able to train yourself with new builds and different weapons and find what works to get the content done. That makes sense.
They also did this. They didn't complain about Legendary Witch Queen campaign. That's what they did. They raised all of the story by 5 light levels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
they were singing the praises.
Yeah, so like it leaves me conflicted where I want to be sympathetic to the casual community, but also like we've been looking for a little bit of a challenge. We've been looking for the ability, and like some people were saying, what if you could toggle it? But then if you can toggle it, like some people would just never touch it. You would never see them being forced to engage and to adapt and to learn how to work in harder content. And it would just be the same casual experience, people waning off from the game and being bored. So I feel like raising it 5 is a very meet in the middle, like middle ground. I feel like it's a very perfect way to do it, if that makes sense.
See, as a hardcore casual myself, the fact that I even had like the confidence to go into Legend Seraph is like a huge thing to me. The fact that I could solo flawless normal Seraph and feel that I had the confidence to go into Legend solo, I'm I'm proud of myself for that because, even just a few months ago, I had no idea how to build my armor, how to use my mods properly, what goes with what. I'm, I love it. I love the whole, having that difference in the power and being able to say, okay, yeah, this is a challenge and I'm willing to challenge myself. I'm happy with it. I love it. I loved the Legend campaign. I can't wait to do the Legend Lightfall campaigin. Yeah, bring it on. I don't care what those other people are saying.
That's a great way to look at it. That's where I'm like, yo, this is great. It's a challenge. And the thing about it is even scales. Like if you run it by yourself, if you're a solo player, you have like a little bit of a gauge of where you can stand in that challenge. Versus if you have a full fire team, it's gonna kick y'all's butt. You're gonna run up in that cut, you're gonna get your butt kicked, and then you have to learn how to adapt. So because that was the big thing, especially when Witch Queen came out. There was some people that straight up said, "Hey, yo, kick your fire team, beat Savathun by yourself in Legend." Because if you go, you're going to be there for like 5 hours trying to get that stuff done. And that's what happened with me and Alchemy. We straight up were doing the Legend campaign together. And then when we got to Savathun, we were there for like 3 hours. And then when me and Alchemy went to bed, I woke up at like 10 in the morning, hopped on my Bubble Titan and got it done. And he was like, I did the same thing at my well warlock. I'm like, we just did that. So it's like, it gives you a gauge of, if you're a solo player, you have a little bit of a wiggle room to do this. But if you're a group of 3, you have more of a challenge. So it's like, I think the 5 up is a great way to compromise. That's where I'm kind of at with that.
Agreed.
From there, I kind of like spoke for you, but do you want to like touch on it at all? I think Alchemy's dead again.
Well, DC, I think that with the Legend modifier, I think you should be able to like turn up and down the scale. Like, oh, I want a more harder piece of content. Let me turn this up to like 10 or 15 light levels above me. Because
that's a good idea.
I remember, like, I think it was either Anthem or I can't remember.
Oh God, Anthem.
It was Anthem. Like, you could set, I'm pretty sure it was your world level. It would put enemies above you, and then when you got to that level, you could, and once you ranked up, no, it was Outriders.
Outriders, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, I remember doing that in Outriders.
That makes sense.
You got world levels, and like it'd make the game harder.
Then maybe that's the compromise. Then like have it to where you can scale almost all the way up to GM level on multiple different increments of 5. Maybe that's the compromise. Like have the base level and then maybe restructure adept hero and whatnot. That way it is 5, 10, 15, 20, etc. And then the more you do, the more rewards you get. Maybe that can be the compromise. Like incentivize you to grind the harder content. Maybe that's kind of like where I'm at with that.
I crack with that. That was a good idea, Alchemy. I like.
Good vibe. This is more for me and Alchemy than for Tower. So for the Crucible changes, Bungie is very satisfied with the different things they did, especially with Iron Banner, where they introduced things like Rift. They had Eruption come out and Fortress come out. They're tweaking some things, which Bubble didn't need to be nerfed. We're not going to talk about it.
I'm going to talk about it.
But they also introduced it. Not only are they bringing back Countdown, but they're also introducing Countdown Rush, which is like a faster, more cranked up version of it. And they're introducing a new mode called Checkmate Control, where like your weapon damage, your ability uptime, and even your ammo economy are all adjusted in new ways with that. And I think this is great, but I really feel like we need to be throwing these modes in the Crucible Labs and not just throwing them into the sandbox. That's the biggest thing. We need to stop using Iron Banner as a testing ground. We need to put it in Crucible Labs. And like that's the biggest complaint that people have had this past season, where you threw every casual into a playlist. You threw every ranked player into a playlist, and it kind of ruined the experience. Ranked should be one mode per season. That was what I thought of before. Whether it's Rift for a season, or Survival for a season, or Showdown for a season, that's what ranked should be. You changing the game mode every round is not really a good gauge of who's good at what mode. Your loadout could be for Showdown or for Survival, and then you're loaded into Rift, and you have no idea what the heck's going on. Like, that's the issue with ranked, in my opinion. And then for casuals, it's like every other round you're in a different mode besides Rift. Rift's in the corner over in the other part of the map, and that's just wrong. You need to go back to where Control is the one mode for a season, or Clash is the mode for a season. That should be where it's at. Thankfully, you pulled what's the solo mode? I forget what the hell it's called.
Freelance?
No, Alchemy. What's the solo Rumble? They finally pulled Rumble out of it and made Rumble by itself, because everyone's like, we want Rumble back, you dang. Like, that was the issue there. They finally brought Rumble back, which that was a good compromise. But rank should be one mode, casual should be one mode. Have your Rolodex in the corner of different things, and then have new modes be in Crucible Labs. That should be what you do there. Alchemy, do you agree with me?
Yes, I do. Like, majorly, because hell, I remember just loading into like 5 different Rift matches while I was trying to get my glorious seal.
Yeah, like it just. And later on in the paragraph, Blackburn talks about how they're trying to like work on the dynamic skill ranges for skill-based matchmaking and to also improve connections. And there were some commentators that were like, just prioritize connection over matchmaking. And I'm like, that's not the solution.
No.
The solution is to just have dedicated servers, because that's always the straw man. And I will die on this hill that whenever somebody says, oh, the connection's bad, skill-based matchmaking is bad, it's a straw man. You using the connection as an excuse as to why skill-based matchmaking shouldn't be in existence is dumb. What you should be saying is, oh, the connection's bad, Bungie, fix your servers, not skill-based matchmaking is bad, take it out of the game. Because skill-based matchmaking should be in every multiplayer game. I will agree with some people that say, why is skill-based matchmaking in ranked if we're doing a ranked ladder system? That I can get behind. But for like trials and for casual play, there should be no reason why anyone's getting pub stomped. There should be no reason why you're having to shut out games constantly. Iron Banner should definitely have it. We need to go back to having light enabled for Iron Banner, and I'll die on that hill.
I remember dying to Randy's throwing knife multiple times at Iron Banner.
Yeah, like we've seen, hell, ranked alone had the issue at the beginning of the season where Revoker was being used in ranked because it wasn't light enabled. Like, ranked is supposed to be your competitive mode. Why are you allowing Revoker to come back from the dead? Like, you sunsetted weapons on purpose. That's like looking back at D1 and having a gun from Vanilla come back in Rise of Iron and being able to be used in PvP with no light change. Like, you had to use etheric light to upgrade things as time went on in D1. With D2, it should be the same thing. If Bungie doesn't want these weapons to be in existence anymore, they should be removed from the kiosk and not allowed to be used anymore. That's it. Like, just cut it off right there. And then re-enable light for Iron Banner, because Iron Banner is supposed to be just as competitive from a 6v6 standpoint as Trials of Osiris. And we need to stop thinking of it as less. Iron Banner was here before Trials. It was supposed to be a contest of old where you fought to see who was the best. It should not be looked at as just a random holiday every few weeks. We gotta stop that.
Yeah.
Can I hop in as a casual player who used to play during the old skill-based matchmaking? Because I do have, I do absolutely agree with you from the point of a casual player. Like, before they removed the skill-based matchmaking, like back in Shadowkeep, skill-based matchmaking was the thing. And then you also had the rotator playlist.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I actually really liked playing PvP. I could feel myself getting better as I went through. And with the rotator playlists as a solo player, like, I went in and there were some, comp matches where I was the blueberry on the team and people were actually helping me out. They were helping me, guiding me through, even without having a chat. Like, they were like, all right, come with me this way. We're going to go this way, kind of a thing. I liked that. I enjoyed it. I felt myself getting better. As soon as they went fully connection based, I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
I've got my issues. I've got eye issues. I've got arthritis issues where I can't be as quick on the ball as, some, esports level comp player. I can't do that. But with the skill-based matchmaking, I felt comfortable enough where I could, increase my level. I went from not even getting any kills a match to, by the time they removed skill-based matchmaking initially, I was getting, 20, 25 kills a match as a casual player.
Exactly.
I felt great. I felt myself going up in the levels and I loved it.
That's awesome. And like here's the biggest point that me and like kind of Alchemy have been kind of like dead set on. There's been like when him and I will go into trials, we will see like competition on our level to the point that we've gone flawless a few weeks without the flawless pool being activated. But then there there's random weeks where we're facing he's like a 1.05, I'm a 0.75. And we're like, in terms of KD, we're running up against 2.0s, 2.03s, 1.7s, like those kind of people that like have hundreds of flawlesses under their belt. There should be no reason why someone should look at that giant of a skill gap and go, "Oh, you just need to get good." No, that is not how a video game should be played. There's
not at all.
Like there should be a fine line where we go, these people sweat their balls off every week, and these people sweat their balls off sometimes, and we shift the outliers up towards the top. And if your argument is I have to wait longer for a match, that's all you got. That should be that should be the only excuse that you get. You don't get to say connection. That's a straw man. That is literally Bungie needs to get dedicated servers. That's the fundamental of the argument. That's what we need to stop saying. Connection is the issue. Like, we need to stop saying connection is the reason why skill-based matchmaking should go. We need to say skill-based matchmaking should stay. Bungie needs to fix their shit. That is what we should be saying.
Absolutely agreed.
Alchemy, your thoughts, since I kind of spoke for you again because I'm a hooligan. Jesus Christ, Cole, wake up. His icon's glowing green, but he ain't there.
Yeah.
What happened? But that's cool. He'll figure it out, chime in. But no, so like that's pretty much like I feel like him and I will be in agreement on that. Oh, there it goes.
But,
so you're
I coming from someone that is somewhat of a tryhard in PvP. Back when I did play Shadowkeep, I also did feel myself grow in the higher skill brackets because like I'd be going against my own skill level, and like what Panda said, we would go up against people with like thousands of like hundreds or even thousands of flawlesses almost like at a 2.0 KD. And I feel like that shouldn't be happening because even as a 1.0 with a person with a 1.0 KD, like I cannot go up against that.
Yeah,
it's absurd. No one it's such a stark contrast. So they very much need to fix that. So that's very much like what they talked about in terms of Crucible. They are going to be making some changes to trials as time goes on. They're very happy with the reputation increases they made to Iron Banner. That's kind of cool. Still put Iron Banner back to light level, please. Like,
Yes.
yay, you gave us 3 instead of 2 now, but put back the light level.
Yes.
We already talked about the exotic mission.
Randy throw a knife.
Yeah, no more Randy throw a knife.
Oh God.
So
I was
yeah, we are
expecting to see Mountaintop and freaking Iron Banner, to be quite honest.
Oh Jesus
God.
Christ.
Actually,
So
not many people run it in Iron Banner. Funny enough, because I remember running when me and Panda were running it. Like literally, it would just be Randy's throwing knife because it's curated with a roll with rapid hit kill clip, and it's
Yeah.
180, and with 180s with kill clip, it could 2-tap.
And like I'll be the one to admit it. The first weekend they had it where it wasn't light enabled. I took my blast furnace in there for a minute. I had some fun, but I put it back on in my vault, and I went back to my stance of we shouldn't have light level enabled. They wanted to sunset. We need to sunset. We gotta stick to it if we're gonna do it. Those guns are in the past. If you want them to be in the meta, let them get etheric light or something similar, or take off the infusion cap and let them exist in the meta. But if not, just like get rid of them. We already kind of talked about the exotic mission rotator. That's not coming until season 22, so we'll probably see more development on that in the future. The one thing that I'm very excited about is they are going to be updating like some of the strikes in the future. Specifically for the upcoming season, they are refreshing Lake of Shadows and Arms Dealer, where they are going to be where not only from a difficulty standpoint they're going to be revisiting them, but they're having their objectives and their encounters tweaked specifically to coincide with Lightfall. And this is something that people have been looking for a while, and like to bring back since like the days of D1, where you saw like in Taken King they changed some strikes. In our Rise of Iron, you saw House of Devils have Cephix Prime be Siva filled. Like you saw developments with the story and the strikes. So now they're going to be revisiting Lake of Shadows and Arms Dealer. And I kind of understand, especially with the Vidoc today, why Arms Dealer. Because if there's a ziggurat in the middle of the EDZ while the Arms Dealer is going on, there's going to be some shenanigans going on.
As long as they keep my baby dog dialogue, I will be absolutely happy.
I feel like they're going to keep that one because that one's just too fun.
Everybody loves that. Devrim dying after hearing Saval say baby dog, it gives me life.
Also,
that man's life gives me life.
Also, Holiday simping for Zavala and Devrim has to say, because that's just hilarious.
Operation Easy Listening.
So it's very cool they're going to be updating some strikes. They are going to be taking some stuff out of the rotation. They said specifically Exodus Crash and Inverted Spire are leaving the Nightfall pool. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, because they're too easy. They're too freaking easy, dog. Well, Inverted Spire is too easy, but Exodus Crash is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're fun though.
And they're fun, but you can still be able to access them from the map. They just won't be in a strike rotation or a Nightfall rotation. So they'll still be around. They just won't be as like up your butt. And they even said they're updating Lake of Shadows and Arms Dealer to be on the same scale as Lightblade and Proving Grounds. And I'm like, say what now?
Go off, Bungo.
Like if you make Lake of Shadows be Proving Grounds level, I'm gonna be like shitting my pants.
Mm-hmm.
But like we already talked about, they are going to be adding some more of the Battlegrounds to the Vanguard Ops playlist and whatnot. That's going to be fun. And they honestly just talked about how in the future they've had to delay some things. Like they're delaying the LFG to the final season before Lightfall. They're like, because they want to make sure that it's right. They are giving us loadouts and Guardian ranks and whatnot with Lightfall. They just have to push out the LFG a little longer. When we still have the app. We still have third-party websites to engage with folks. You can join our Discord, the LFG with folks. So there are options. There's great communities that are out there that are safe for folks to still engage. They want to make things easier for folks. So like I think that was the biggest thing about Blackbird's article is they want to like connect Guardians and enrich the experience across the board. And there's going to be some people in Season of the Defiance that are like, oh, this is the same old, but they're going to be like, this is the only season that's going to have a seasonal vendor. They're going to, because this season was pretty much finished before there was a lot of outcry about the same old vendor system. Once season 22 rolls out, you're going to see a lot more development, which is going to be dope. So let's get through season 20 and we'll look to the future. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, let's get through Strand, let's get through the opening, and then when Season of the Deep comes out, we'll see what's popping.
Yep.
Cool. Everyone's in agreement. And then from there, we like they kind of touched on it in Blackbird's article, that we had a second article sort of expanding on it, which is the developments with crafting. Not only are we getting rid of the idea of having to like get a bunch of kills on a gun to unlock the deep sight resonance, but they're looking into the ability to have you like pay materials to activate deep sight on a weapon drop that didn't drop with deep sight. And I'm like, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like super really good for people who have like bad luck not getting drops. Me grinding Dares of Eternity for 5 years for a Wastelander drop.
No.
So it's like that'll be a good like bad luck protection for some folks. Here's one thing that no one's talking about that I'm kind of worried about. That they're saying that only guns that can be crafted will drop with deep sight. And they're saying they're going to be like they're going to be slowly getting rid of the different like material costs and whatnot. They're going to get rid of like resonant element and whatnot. But until they do, that's going to become a problem when you're crafting and you don't have enough of the material if some guns just don't drop with red borders. So that's my little concern, especially when we're going into Lightfall, where we have pretty much found out from this article and from today's TWAB that like the raid weapons are craftable, the new Neo Muna guns are craftable, like the Season of the Defiance weapons are craftable. Like there's a lot going on here, and if we don't have enough material to craft them, we kind of SOL. And I'm like, that's my one. Like, granted, we're at a point right now where like everything can drop with deep sight, but we kind of need to meet in the middle for a little bit, where like some stuff like just the rate of it needs to come down a little bit. That's where I'm kind of at. That's my biggest concern. But hopefully it ain't that bad. Hopefully like it's plentiful enough where we can get things done. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but like that's my little concern.
I honestly feel like it's going to be a right move, but only if they do it at the same time, because it's going to screw so many people over if they get rid of resonant alloy when they implement. If they don't get rid of resonant alloy when they implement that change, because like you said, people won't have 2,000 alloy to spend to enhance a perk.
Yeah, I'm really agreeing with you on that. It will screw people over, and like there are people like myself who are always full up on resonant alloy because I dismantle anything that doesn't have a pattern, and I just don't even care. Because I have my weapons that I like and I use those, and I don't care about crafting anything else. But so I always have resonant alloy, but people who are, consistently crafting, trying to get that, better roll, that enhanced roll that they really want. Yeah, they're going to be out of resonant alloy real quick. And there ain't going to be anything that they can do to earn it back. So Bungie needs to have some sort of backup on that.
Yeah, that's like my only concern with it. If we can address that and everything's Gucci for a minute, cool, I'm down. Yeah. But like, I'm just a little bit worried, and hopefully it isn't that bad. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But like, I feel like for the most part we should be fine. But we'll see what happens. But from there, like the majority of the article is basically just talking about them simplifying. They're very much like, we're simplifying things, but also they're working on with raid adept weapons coming in the new season, a few weeks after Lightfall drops, and moving forward, they're going to be making it so you are able to get enhanced perks on adept raid weapons. That way, there's a reason to chase adept weapons again, and you'll be able to like level up those weapons and be able to get the enhanced perks and change the barrels and the mags and whatnot. But that's it. You can't change the perks. The perks are locked in. You can get enhanced versions of it, but that's it. You can't get nothing else. And I love that. I love that if you are willing to grind for the master content and get the role you want and have that adept mod on it, you're able to then get the enhanced perks with it. Because if we're not going to make it so raid weapons aren't craftable, and we're going to expand to where there's more raid weapons that are craftable, we need to make it to where there's a reason to chase adept loot, because they've already hinted at they're making it so rewind rounds is on more guns. That means they're getting ready to make Vault of Glass weapons craftable. There's going to be no reason to chase Found Verdict Time Lost anymore. Like, there's going to be motherfuckers who just roll up and grab a crafted Found Verdict and go into Crucible. So if they don't give you a reason to go get your Found Verdict Time Lost, no one's going to want it. So
right.
that, you're there's gonna be those pro players that sweated their butts off for it, getting rolled over by a crafted Found Verdict, and they're gonna get really salty. So that's my biggest thing. I've been on the stance of raid weapons shouldn't be craftable. Like, that's my thing. But if this is the compromise we're gonna get, I'm down. I'm very much like, give people a reason to invest in their weapons again. And the enhanced version, being able to level into it, that's a great way to do it.
Agreed. Big agreed on that one.
So, like, we will definitely have the article linked like down below for all of these, because it very much feels like there's a lot going on here. And the thing about it is these adept weapons, you'll only be able to level up to 17, because once you get to 17, there's not really a reason to level up a gun anymore. Now, granted, there's people like me who have like other half swords that are level 159, but like, I really feel like Bungie needs to like institute a level cap, or like once you hit level 200, you're done. Because I saw like someone with a forbearance that was level 700, and I'm like, man, what are you doing?
Waiting with a level 1,800 color, just literally just sitting there camping.
I know someone with a level. Oh God, I think God, it's got to be almost level 2,000, but it's an Enigma, a crafted Enigma. Yeah, that's all he uses ever in his special slot.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary. The man can one shot like not red bars, freaking yellow bars in any PvE content. He can one shot freaking PvP. Like, that's all he uses is his Enigma. It's insane, dude.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, very much like be looking into the different things that are going on with the leveling system. Because like they're trying to simplify it, but also incentivize you. So I very much enjoy it from that standpoint. Now, the reason we all woke up at 10 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
Well, not Tower, she was at work. But like
9 a.m. for me. 9 a.m. for me. I'm an hour behind you guys.
but like Destiny released
I think we might be the same time zone because I'm CST.
Yeah, he is CST. Well, for those in California who had to wake up at 7 a.m. for the Vidoc, I feel bad for y'all. But like, in terms of the Vidoc that was released today, I will say I got more information from Paul Tassie's Forbes article than I got from that Vidoc. Because,
oh God!
Like, other than the fact that we saw Callus drip to the nines, like. There was nothing in the fact that we got the sim for Rohan. Like there was nothing else in that Vidoc for me. Because there was there was just more expansion on what we know. We do know that there is 2 Cloud Striders. We're sticking with that mythology that there's only 2 Cloud Striders per generation. That's very cool. I like that power of 2 concept. The Callus' ship has landed. One thing they did explain is there's only 3 zones similar to Europa and the Throne World. So, but that doesn't mean they're small. That means like they're gonna be sprawling. So that'll be fun. And just from everything that we saw from the Vidoc, Alchemy, how you feeling? What'd you dig from that Vidoc?
I honestly dig how they showed the Neptune and everything, and a little bit of the gameplay with the new armors 3.0 pretty armor I think it's 4.0 now.
Something like
And
that.
how
3.0, 4.0, something like that.
yeah, but I really like the gameplay showcase because like it showed a lot of the stuff that we're gonna expect. Like some of the stuff we're gonna get next season. Because
Right.
like I feel like if they don't show it off, players are not gonna know how to use it right at the bat.
Right. I think my biggest thing that I'm intrigued by is the tormentors, because they said later on from the information they gave, like some of the people who saw the press kit, was there's different tiers of tormentors. There's some that you can like freeze and take out that method, but then there's some that'll just shrug off the stasis. And I'm like, oh no. And then there's even like this new move where they can like suck the light out of you, where like your sound's gonna get dampened for a minute. They're gonna grab you like mid-fight, just grab you. And I'm just like, that's gonna be scary. So imagine if there's a tormentor and a strike, and we have to pull up to that, and there ever becomes a nightfall, and we just get ganked by a tormentor. I'm gonna be tripping. So that's where I'm very much excited about. I'm hoping when we get to Final Shape or a later season, we see like a minion type come out of the Witness that like resembles the tormentors. Like I want to have a new race of things to fight that isn't Scorn, that isn't Taken, that isn't the Shadow Legion, that is like mini tormentors or like just like the energy like similar to their skin, like little like drones, or like something similar to that, where it's like, because let's be real, all those pyramid ships, there's no way they're packed full of Shadow Cabal. There's no way they're packed full of Scorn or Taken. There's got to be something in all those pyramid ships that is ready to fight us. So I feel like we will see some sort of new race come out of that pyramid ship and just be like a threat. So I'm hoping with the development of the Tormentors, we see something like that pop out. That's my big hope. Tower, how you feeling from watching all this?
I really enjoyed the Vidoc. I thought it was a really great showcase of more of the strand abilities. I mean, yeah, it's more of the same from the trailer, but at the same time, I really like that they had that little, focus on each of the classes. I really enjoyed being able to see more of Nimbus. How they described them as, kind of like the young upstart, up and comer, and how they're like really full of this energy, and Rohan is, that grizzled old leader kind of a thing. I really want to see interactions between Rohan and Osiris, just the 2 old dudes, grumping at each other like
Funny.
Osiris and Clovis did in Seraph. Like, yes, give me more grandpa's grumping.
Right. Like I love that
When
moment
is
where
Saint
like
gonna get involved though? I need to see more Saint.
yes, like Saint needs to pull up. Like I love how Osiris is going with us to Neo Muna, but I need Saint to pull up, because if we don't see Saint anywhere in Season of Defiance or in Shadow in Lightfall, I'm gonna be like, what is going on? Like
Right?
you have the same voice actor as him for Clovis Bray. Like leave him on retainer for 5 more minutes. Like get him in here, please. That's
Yes.
all I'm asking. But like the thing that I like one of my favorite moments from this past season was when like straight up like Osiris walks into the chamber with the big head, and Clovis is like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Osiris is like just like stroking himself off, going like, "I'm the Phoenix. I'm this. I'm that." And freaking Clovis is like, "Oh, I see." I'm like, "What? You just gonna disrespect my man like this? How dare?" So it's just like I really need like
Dude,
like
my favorite moment was when Osiris literally told Clovis to get off of the goddamn line during one of the battlefields or the battlegrounds. It was great.
So like we definitely saw a lot of great things in the Vidoc. It was a lot of just expansion on what we've seen.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to figure out why the Witness let Callus take all his jewelry into this transformation chamber, because man took everything he owned into that chamber and it came out just like literally just like throw some D's on that motherfucker, like all of it is just glistening. So
dude has more gold than Mr. T.
Like legit, like man's got like all this like little medals hanging off his belly and whatnot. Like his leg is dipped in gold. Like man is tripping. So that's funny. What like they showed more about the exotics that we kind of see. They showed more of the machine gun and the sidearm. We did get the reveal that we're getting a stasis bow. So people are tripping about the idea of a stasis exotic bow. That's going to be awesome. If it's heavy, I'm fighting somebody. It better be primary.
The glaive is heavy.
The glaive is heavy. Yes, the stasis glaive is heavy. I'm hoping the bow
exotic
is primary.
glaive is heavy. Yeah.
But everyone's tripping about this bow. Everyone's like, the bow's like there. They're like in the loadout, the Guardian ring screen. They announced what the bow's called. I'm over here like, yo, why is no one paying attention to the helmet the Titan is wearing? Because that literally is like a new exotic. It has to be some kind of like stasis themed exotic, and no one's talking about it. And I need people to talk about it. Like, please.
We've been talking about it. Oh, go ahead, Alchemy. I'm sorry.
Or it's gonna be they're gonna release a stasis set like they did with the 3.0 armors.
Well, like that'd be kind of cool, but it was just a random helmet on top of the Lightfall expansion armor. So my brain's like on the Lightfall ornaments, like because like they have the regular like ninja looking warlock, the armor the hunter's wearing, and the whole Titan with the bullets on the chest and the shoulder pad are all there, and then randomly they just swapped out the helmet, and I'm like, what is it? Like I'm like Ben Stiller going, what is this? Like I need to know. So
for me, I think it might be an ornament.
I don't want it to be an ornament though.
I know, but see, here's the problem. The only helmet that it would fit with is Eternal Warrior, and nobody likes Eternal Warrior.
I was the one advocate that was like, when Arc 3.0 comes out, y'all need to redo Eternal Warrior. Y'all need to rebalance it. And they didn't do nothing with it. I was pissed. But like, but in terms of the rest of the stuff we learned from different, like I know Cactus got to be in the press kit. Paul Tassi got to be in the press kit. They showed a lot of great things, and they got to see. Not only did we find out from like GameSpot and Cactus and Paul Tassi, there's gonna be stasis weapons off rib. We're not stasis. Strand weapons off rib. We've had to wait multiple seasons to get them this time. We're gonna have like there's gonna be a Strand SMG, Strand shotgun. Like there's gonna be like a lot of different things going on there. And we even saw there's a new Void perk called like it was Disruptor rounds. So that's cool. We're making volatile rounds into a perk on guns. I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Yes.
like it's kind of like Volt Shot and Incandescent. I'm really here for that. We're getting a new Season of Defiance sword that like the model is taken from Hero of Ages, which is kind of cool. So they're reusing some models, but doing them in cool ways, which I'm very excited about. So, and just there's so many new perks that we're kind of like hinted at in the weapons and whatnot that I'm really excited for, because if the Strand perks are really that good, that's going to be some really good synergy for this stuff. And I'm just like, if Strand ends up being so good that it can be good at high-end PvE, I'm here for it. But if Titans just get another melee class that has no benefits, I'm going to just be sitting here with my hand on my head going, what the frick? And that was the big concern from last week that everyone was talking about, where I forget who did the article with PC Gamer, where they said Titans just punch. No, we don't. We do a lot more than that. So I'm hoping Strand's awesome. I'm hoping Strand does cool things. The weapons look dope. There's a new shotgun that your boy's gonna get because everyone knows Panda likes his shotguns. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. The shotgun they showed in the trailer looked a lot like the Season of the Splicer shotgun. So I'm like, if you're gonna be another Sojourner's Tale, I'm like, I'll take that. I'll take me another slug. Let's go. That'll be fun. But everything that I saw in the Vidoc, everything that we see, the loadout system is really cool. The great thing about the loadouts, they said that as long as you're not in a darkness zone, and as long as you are not in a inventory locked activity, you can change your loadout on the fly. And you can even pull stuff from your vault as long as you have inventory space. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Here for that. Definitely here for that.
Now, granted, it is a bit of a letdown because Destiny Item Manager lets you exchange stuff and put it in your vault. Yes. But there are probably some limitations they had to give up for it to be in game, and that's fine. This is still a good step in the right direction. So I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was pretty much the entire Vidoc. There was a lot of great stuff that went down. There's like right now we're very much at a point where they don't got to show us nothing else. We just got to go into the season and see what happens. Like this is going to be nutty, and I'm super excited for it. Even in the TWAB today, they very much were just kind of like, "Hey, yeah, this is summary and whatnot." And the one thing they did talk about in the TWAB was the ritual weapon for the new season is gonna be a void glaive. And I'm like, oh shit, a Queen's Guard themed glaive is the ritual weapon. I'm here for it. Marasov got herself a glaive. I'm like, and they even said it's gonna have disruptor rounds on it, so that's gonna be, or destabilizing rounds rather. So that's gonna be really cool. And there's another new perk called Replenishing Aegis. So does that mean like if you take damage, your shield like lasts longer? That'd be kind of cool.
That would be. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
That would definitely give me a reason to use glaives more often. So that'd be really cool. So like that was pretty much everything. Like we've covered like everything like that would happen in like the past week week or so. I think that like I'm really excited for Lightfall. Like Alchemy, how you feeling? Because I'm hyped. Like yeah.
Also hyped as fuck about Lightfall because I'm ready for Strand to come out because that's gonna be fun.
Well, especially for you Warlocks, Strand looks like a freaking like basket of fun for y'all.
We also gotta remember every class is getting a grapple hook, so that means we could all latch onto a Thunder Crashing Titan.
Oh my god! No, the one thing that I saw on the Vidoc, they like you can throw the new Threadling or the ball thing, kind of like how you used to be able to throw a Warmind cell, and someone threw one, and a freaking hunter like latched onto it with the grapple and swung into a crowd of enemies, and I was like, what?
Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun with that.
So I feel like that'll be a lot of fun. But no, like it's gonna be exciting. Alchemy, how you feeling?
I'm also feeling pretty excited, but I'm thinking about is one Thunder Crash Titan, 5 Strand Titans, and it's just a delivery of spinning Titans.
I feel like there has to be a limit. There has to be a limit like one person per Thunder Crash Titan. Like you can't all latch on to the same person. Like that's just my thought process. Like
Yeah, like
they have to
I
find some way to limit it.
love for that to be a thing.
All right,
Because
all
like
right.
just I feel like that would do like insane DPS as well though.
Fair enough.
Because of all of the strand stuff. And then after you get done with that, you will still have bionic traces and everything else
Ooh.
with ability regen as well. Because you got to remember, the strand legs also are the things that you can pick up for increased ability regen as well.
Yup. I didn't even think about that. So that'll be very interesting. Tower, how are you feeling about everything?
Oh, I'm super excited. I can't wait to pull up my Warlock again and start making little strand babies. They are my life. They are my life. I love my little buddies, dude. Like I have names for all the different types of buddies that we have. Me and my friend, we've created a whole system of names for buddies, especially like the stasis turret. You know, we call him Terry because he's our fourth member of our fire team because he does work.
That's interesting. A
Well,
lot of people have been calling the Stasis turret Stacy. That's kind of cool that you found your own name for it.
no, it's Terry the turret. It's got to be alliterative. So we have so we have Stitch the strand buddy.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Like because they didn't say it was like stitches. They're raveling in time. It makes a lot of freaking sense.
And also
Okay.
that one scene from freaking Stitch where he comes out of the green explosion and just laughs maniacally. Yes, that also.
Oh dear.
Yes. That's
All
gonna be
right.
me.
Dear Lord, I'm concerned. So that'll be a fun time on day one. But no, this has been a great episode, folks. So we did say if you stuck around in the whole episode that you would find out how to enter for a chance to win like a copy of Lightfall plus the annual pass. And here's how you do it. Firstly, you need to make sure that you follow us on the Twitter at cosmodromeradio.com. And then from there, you also need to tweet at us, like because I'm going to give you a little bit of a trivia question real quick. Because if you were listening to the episode, the Alchemy and Tower said something like a specific quote from Zol. And if you would not only do you have to follow us on Twitter, you need to tweet at us what that quote from Zol is. And if you do that, you will enter yourself in for a chance to win a copy of Lightfall plus the annual pass. So if y'all could do that, I'll do some good stuff there. You get to holler at me and get yourself a copy. All right, folks. Don't forget that you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all those great places. Like I said, follow us on Twitter in general, but follow us to enter and tweet at us for the opportunity. And make sure that you are join the Discord, engage with the community. Once Lightfall drops, we're definitely gonna start doing community questions again. So you'll be able to ask questions every week and be able to have yourself be shouted out on the show. So definitely make sure that you join the community to have that done. Listener questions are through the Discord, so make sure that you join the Discord to have your question answered. Towers, is this your first episode? What's your closing statement for the episode?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I really had a great time, and I appreciate having the chance to be on with you guys. But yeah, I'm really excited for Lightfall. Give me more Nimbus content, Bungie, you cowards.
No, I need more Rohan content.
That too.
I'm simping. Alchemy, what is your closing statement?
And for the past few episodes, I am ready for Lightfall, and I honestly just need more Saint in my life. I need more Osiris Insane.
Oh, okay. My closing statement, as always, is just find actually this is specifically for this week because I was having a conversation with one of our clan members, and I want us to remember why we love this game. I want you guys all to think back to what got you into this game and be excited for the future, because we all get caught up in the meta. We all get caught up in like what guns are the best, what exotics are the best, but we need to like still ask ourselves, are we having fun? And like as we prepare for the day one raid races and the contest mode and the new harder content, we need to still remember, are we having fun? And if we can still have fun with our friends and enjoy the things that we're doing, I think we're doing all right. I'm very excited for the future of the show. I'm very excited for the future of Lightfall and the final shape. We are in the end game, people. So definitely trust and believe we will be back next week with a brand new episode for you folks. And we're excited for the future of the show. So we will catch you folks Starside. Peace out.